What's up, fellow adventurers, and welcome back to my Game of the Year series. In today's episode, I'll be returning to my journey through Unreal Engine as I continue exploring the material system and take a look at how I built a custom lava material. This episode continues my development journey as I explore the finished material, how its different systems work together, and what I learned while creating it. And that, my friends, is what we'll be covering in today's episode. As always, I would like to encourage you to subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and smash that like button so you don't miss any future notifications. And for those interested in game development, following projects like this one, or if you're looking for a gaming community where we have fun, faith, and fellowship, I'd like to invite you to join the Gatlin Alliance on Discord. You'll find everything you need to get started down in the description below. All right, friends, so I am excited as we dive into today's episode. We're going to go over the parent material and the child material and the creation of it. You know, it's already built. I'm not going to be going through a tutorial process to teach you how to create that. If you want to learn that, then that's what the tutorial series with Numen Brothers is all about. That's what it's for. That's the same tutorial I followed for this particular style content. So if you want to know more about that, definitely go check out Numen Brothers. The details for that is down in the description. Now, what we're going to be doing today is going over what I learned as I created this custom lava material and how some of the things that I learned in the last episode when I created the custom water material, how that complements for this build of the lava material. You know, that side quest that I went down, I decided to go build my own custom water material, which took me down a really interesting road, and everything I learned there transitioned and is being used right here in the lava material build. And then we're going to talk about the lava dynamic material and how we went from orange to green in the lava scene. All right. So as we jump in, I just kind of want to show you what we got going on here. We're melting because we're in the lava. So you can kind of see the lava here. And I think it looks really, really good. I think this is an excellent lava. Now, in the process of creating the water material in the last episode, I came across another style of lava that I'm going to experiment with in the future. Don't know when, but it's something that I want to experiment with and see the difference in the lava. It's a different style of lava. It's quite detailed, and I look forward to that. Down in the bottom left, we've got the content drawer, and I'm going to left click on that. And we got the M Lava 01, and we also have the MI Lava 01, which is the material instance constant. So as a reminder, as we went over in the last episode when I was creating the custom water, if we right click anywhere, we go down to material, we can create a material, name it whatever we want, right? And then go into it and start building out our material. For right now, I'm not doing that. We've already got it made here. And if you want a material instance, all you got to do is right click and go up here and create material instance, and it will create that material instance for you. So I've actually got these open already. This is my lava material, and this is what we built following the tutorial infrastructure of Numen Brothers, as Neil built out this lava material for us and taught us how to do it. You know, we built out this material. These are parameter names, and you know, I'm recording this. One reason I'm recording this content is that as I'm recording this and going over it, it's like another level of education for myself, because in a way I'm teaching, but at the same time I'm not. I'm going through, and it's like homework. You know, you learn something from somewhere, and then you go home and you got to study, then you got to do a test, and you got to put all that stuff together. You know, that's kind of what these episodes are, this journey. It's almost like a test level for me, because I get to go in and be like, all right, well, I got to go over some of the stuff I've already done and refresh my memory, see what's going on, and then maybe even learn something new in the process of making the video, which is really neat. So Control Alt And that'll tell us what this is. If we can't remember what it does or what it is, we can get a definition. Material expression scalar parameter, which the scalar parameter expression outputs a single float value constant that can be assessed and changed in an instance of the material or on the fly by the code. So we got a specular parameter that we made here. That's what we named the name of the parameter because it's going into specular. Roughness, we name roughness because it goes into roughness. Emissive intensity goes into multiply, which goes into the emissive color, right? Some other things we have on here are some multiplies. The multiply expression takes two inputs, multiplies them together, and outputs the result. Similar to Photoshop's multiply layer blend, the multiplication happens per channel, meaning that the R channel of the first is multiplied by the second. The G channel of the first is multiplied by the second, and so on. Both inputs must have the same number of values unless one of the values is a single float value. Note, do not forget that materials in Unreal Engine are not limited to 0, 1. If colors/values are greater than 1, multiply will actually brighten colors. That's an interesting note to make. We got our base color, right? We want to know more about that. We can click it and Control-Alt. That'll tell us about it, so on and so forth. The panner is interesting. It's an expression that outputs UV texture coordinates that can be used to create panning or moving textures. Panner generates UVs that change according to the time input. The coordinate input can be used to manipulate the UVs generated by the panner node. We've got a text coordinate. This is an expression that outputs UV texture coordinates in the form of a two-channel vector value, allowing materials to use different UV channels, specify tiling, and otherwise operate on the UVs of a mesh. We have a speed that we created here. This is a material expression vector parameter, and we named it speed. Okay, tiling. Again, this is a parameter, a material expression scalar parameter, which we named it tiling, right? We got our default value, the group, if we wanted to group it, so on and so forth. Now this is a material expression square root. The square root expression outputs the square root of the input value. Square root can operate only on a single float input value. Now, gives you an idea what's going on there. If we go into our Lava 01, we got our color base. So how did we get these parameters here, right? So let's look here. Base color. Group name is color, right? We grouped it. Secondary color is grouped under color, right? Okay? That's how we got our colors. Global scalar parameter values. How did we get that? Okay, what do we got there? Emissive intensity, roughness, specular, tiling, right? So I thought we grouped it. I guess we didn't. It just automatically put it in a group. So if you don't group something, I forgot about that. If you don't group something, Unreal will automatically, at times, put them in a group. So since these are scalar parameter values anyway, that's what they're called. All four of these, this one, this one, this one, and this one down here, they're all for a scalar parameter. Even this one, there's two tiling. So they're all for scalar parameters, and it automatically put them in the group. If you want a custom group, you'll have to name a custom group and put them in there. Same thing with this down here. So that's why you see there in the see those there in the parameter groups. They're automatic. And that, my friends, is an example of how I'm refreshing my memory on something that I may have forgotten or didn't catch the first time I went through it. It's just interesting how some of the smallest things, the more you use the tool, Unreal Engine, the more you use a tool of any kind, the more you familiarize yourself with it, and the better you get with it, and the more you understand how it works. And now in this second half, we're going to start setting up the dynamic material instances so that at runtime, we can switch between lava, water, or no material at all. while also changing the lava from orange to green, just as we did here. If you're wondering how we switched between lava water or no material at all, and how we changed the lava from orange to green, this is it. Let's get to it. And so the way that this worked was we had to open up our BB floor under our blueprints folder. And there's a couple of different things that was done here. We created a set dynamic material liquid layer. We created a set material based on surface layer type. These are functions. We created a surface material, and there's a surface layer type as well. All right, so what we have here is a set dynamic material liquid layer, which we made. It goes into a function called a set material based on surface layer type. When we open that up, it is this function that goes into a switch on platform or surface layer that goes into a set material that sets our lava, our MI lava 01 material. It also sets our MI water GG on the second material, and it sets our third material of none in the set material, the third one there for the liquid layer that goes into those three materials. So that function is how we're able to change our material live from lava to water to none. And so if we go over to our event graph, we have an event begin play that goes into a delay with a duration of 3.0. That goes into a set vector parameter of value that has a liquid layer 0 that goes into its target. That goes into another set vector parameter value with another liquid layer 0 that goes into its target. We have two parameter names on each parameter value. One is called base color, the other is called secondary color. Now, how did I come up with that? If I go down to content drawer to level prototyping, materials, this is how I find it in my version here. Materials, we look for our material instance for lava. I open it up, and we have our base color and secondary color under our color parameter groups, and that's how I know what the name is to be. So we come back to BP floor, and we type that into the parameter name. Then we have the value. The value is the color on our lava whenever it changes from orange to green in that live feed. So if we click on the value here, we have set our RGB to 00FF51FF for the first base color. And then we set the value for the color on the secondary color to 005F3BFF. And that allows our gameplay, when we press play, to go from orange to green in that live feed. And finally, I'd like to take a moment to give a shout out to Neil over at Numen Brothers. His Unreal Engine tutorials have been a tremendous help throughout my game development journey, and I truly appreciate the time and effort he puts into creating them. If you're interested in learning an Unreal Engine or you're thinking about building your own game, I highly recommend checking out the Numen Brothers YouTube channel. Neil has created an excellent collection of tutorials that can help you get started and continue growing as a game developer. You'll find a link to the Numen Brothers YouTube channel down in the description below. And now, if you'd like to continue following this Game in a Year journey, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you don't miss any future content. Also, if you're interested in game development, enjoy behind-the-scenes content, would like to follow the development of this project, or become part of a community where we have fun, faith, and fellowship, I invite you to join us in the Gatlin Alliance on Discord. You'll find everything you need down in the description below. Well, friends, that brings this episode to a close, and I'd like to thank you for watching today's content. We took a look at the custom lava material, explored how it all works together, saw how we could dynamically switch between lava, water, or no material at all, and even change the lava from its original orange to green, showing just how flexible a system like this can be. Next time, we'll be diving into another exciting feature as we take a look at building a dynamic day and night system for the project. Until then, take care, God bless, and I will see you in the next grand adventure.